It was 1968, a year of protests, upheaval, and transformation across the globe. Streets were flooded with workers striking and students shouting for change. Amid this chaos, a quiet revolution was brewing, not in the political halls of Paris, but on its showroom floors. Enter the Peugeot 504, a car that was more than just steel and wheels. It became a legend, an icon that would conquer continents, dominate rally stages, and earn the unshakable title, the King of the African Road. But how did a car born in turbulent times transcend borders and endure decades? Why did this car, of all others, cement its place as a global workhorse, outlasting even its own successors? Let's take a journey back in time to discover the incredible story of the Peugeot 504. From French elegance to African grit, from rally stages to rural roads. Chapter 1. Birth of a Legend. The story begins in the late 1960s. By then, Peugeot, a French automaker with a legacy stretching back to the 19th century, had already proven itself as a manufacturer of dependable, stylish vehicles. Their Peugeot 404 was wildly successful, but the time had come for a flagship model to replace it. Peugeot wanted something that was not only elegant and modern, but versatile, capable of handling both smooth city streets and the most unforgiving terrains imaginable. The answer was the Peugeot 504. September 12, 1968, the Paris Salon. The car made its public debut. But its journey to that day hadn't been smooth. The political and labor strikes of May '68 had thrown the entire country into chaos, delaying its press launch by 3 months. Yet that delay seemed symbolic. If the 504 could endure chaos before it even touched the roads, what could it achieve on them? The first version of the 504 was a four-door saloon, understated yet refined. It was powered by a 1.8-liter, four-cylinder petrol engine producing 81 horsepower, with an optional fuel-injected version bumping that number to 96 horsepower. Peugeot also offered both a 4-speed manual transmission and a 3-speed automatic, a rare luxury at the time. But let's talk design. Peugeot partnered with none other than the legendary Pininfarina, the Italian design house behind Ferrari's most iconic cars. The design was led by Aldo Brovaroni, who crafted a car that blended elegance with function. Its clean lines, high ground clearance, and spacious cabin hinted at its versatility, and that design paid off. In 1969, the Peugeot 504 was crowned European Car of the Year. Critics raved about its style, engineering, and ride quality. This was a car that didn't just look good, it felt good, and it drove even better. Chapter 2. Expanding the family. Peugeot didn't stop there. Just 6 months after the 504's debut, at the 1969 Geneva Motor Show, Peugeot introduced two stunning new variants: the two-door coupe, the two-door cabriolet. These models, styled by Franco Martinengo at Pininfarina, were sleeker and sportier. Under the hood, they featured the same fuel-injected 1.8-liter engine as the saloon, but were tuned for slightly better performance, reaching higher speeds. The message was clear. The 504 wasn't just practical, it was aspirational. By 1970, Peugeot expanded the range again with a new 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine, producing 92 horsepower in its carbureted form and 103 horsepower with fuel injection. A 2.1-liter diesel engine, a game-changer for buyers seeking fuel economy and long-term durability. Then in 1971, Peugeot unveiled the 504 Estate Break, a rugged, family-friendly station wagon with a longer wheelbase and higher roofline. It could seat up to 7 passengers in the Familiale version, making it perfect for large families or commercial use. This was Peugeot at its best, offering a car that could adapt to every need. Whether you wanted luxury, practicality, or performance, there was a 504 for you. Chapter 3. Africa's Workhorse. Now here's where the Peugeot 504 went from being a good car to a global legend. Its robust construction, high ground clearance, and long travel suspension made it incredibly well suited for rough roads, something that would prove vital as Peugeot expanded into Africa, Latin America, and Asia. In Africa, the 504 became more than just a car. It was a lifeline. In Nigeria, Peugeot established a production plant, and the 504 was assembled locally until 2006, a staggering 38 years after its debut. In Kenya, the 504 was so beloved that it earned the title King of the African Road. It was used as a bush taxi, carrying passengers and cargo across vast distances on roads that could barely be called roads. What made the 504 so perfect for Africa? Its rugged design. The suspension could handle potholes, dirt roads, and river crossings with ease. Its simple mechanics. The car was easy to repair, even in the most remote locations. Its diesel engines, efficient, reliable, and perfect for long-haul drives. A Peugeot 504 wasn't just a car, it was a tool. Farmers used it to carry crops, families relied on it for transport, and taxi drivers trusted it to keep running, no matter what. Chapter 4. A global success. The Peugeot 504 wasn't just a legend in Africa, it became a global icon, one that resonated with drivers all over the world. It was a car that wasn't just built to be a reliable, stylish ride, but one that could adapt to various landscapes, needs, and cultures. Let's zoom in on Argentina, where production of the 504 started in 1969. It didn't just stay in the country for a few years. No, it remained a staple in the market until the late 1990s. Now that's some staying power. Peugeot didn't just stick with the sedan and estate models. They threw in the 504 pickup, and let me tell you, it took off. This rugged beast became wildly popular, not just in Argentina, but throughout South America, where pickup trucks are essential for everything from farming to hauling supplies to navigating the rougher roads. Now let's talk about the 504 pickup for a second. When it was introduced in 1979, it wasn't just another work truck, it was a marvel of engineering. Imagine the same tough chassis and reliable suspension system that made the 504 Estate a hero on the tough African roads. But now it came with a payload capacity of over 2,400 pounds. It could carry heavy loads across South American dirt roads, carrying everything from livestock to luggage to the daily haul of goods. But the best part? It didn't just handle tough jobs, it did it with style. After all, this was still a Peugeot, known for its quality and design. As we move into the 1980s, the 504's reputation continued to grow. This wasn't just some car from France, it had truly become a global car. It wasn't just produced in France anymore. Production spread across Europe, Africa, Latin America, and even Asia. That's right, from the sleek streets of Paris to the bustling cities of São Paulo to the African savannas, the 504 was everywhere. It wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of reliability, versatility, and engineering excellence. And here's a little fun nugget for you. The Peugeot 504 pickup was so adaptable that in Germany a company took one and transformed it into a camper van. I mean, who wouldn't want a rugged, reliable pickup that could also turn into a comfy home on wheels? This little conversion was a perfect example of how Peugeot's design made the 504 not just a car, but a multi-purpose machine. Whether it was delivering goods, carrying families, or serving as a camper for those weekend getaways, the 504 had you covered. The 504 wasn't just a car that met the needs of its time. It was a chameleon that could adapt to practically any environment, from the busy streets of Buenos Aires to the remote outback in Kenya and beyond. It's a testament to just how versatile and beloved this car really was. Chapter 5. Racing to Victory. The Peugeot 504 didn't just conquer roads, it dominated rally racing too. Its rugged build made it perfect for the grueling conditions of events like the Safari Rally in Africa. Peugeot 504s claimed victories in the 1975 Safari Rally, the 1975 and 1976 Morocco Rallies, the 1978 Ivory Coast Rally. Drivers like Jean-Pierre Nicolas and Ove Anderson piloted the 504 to success, proving that this wasn't just a workhorse, it was a winner. For fans of motorsport, The sight of a Peugeot 504 tearing across the African plains remains one of the most iconic images in rally history. Chapter 6. The End of an Era. By the late 1970s, the Peugeot 505 was introduced as the 504's successor. In Europe, production of the 504 passenger car ended in 1983, after more than 3 million units had been built. But that wasn't the end. Production continued worldwide, with the pickup version remaining in production until 1993. In total, over 3.7 million Peugeot 504s were produced globally. Chapter 7. Legacy of the 504. The Peugeot 504's legacy isn't just about numbers or production years. It's about what it represented. It was a symbol of reliability in regions where other cars simply couldn't survive. It was a family car, a taxi, a farm truck, and a rally winner, all in one. Even today in rural Africa or South America, you can still spot Peugeot 504s running strong. Because the 504 wasn't just a car, it was a legend. From the streets of Paris to the African savannah, the Peugeot 504 defied the odds. It was elegant, rugged, and timeless. In a world of disposable cars, the 504 stands as a reminder that great engineering lasts forever. And that's why, decades later, the Peugeot 504 remains the king of the road.